2, 1. This is the Unlimited Energy Syndrome podcast.
Oh man, it's good.
So I'm Mate Mishra and I'm here with a mate, Vikram. How are you? Do you want to introduce
Oh,
yourself?
um, you said it, dude. My name's Vikram. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay,
good.
so we basically started a podcast during lockdown because we've got nothing better to do, let's be real. So this first episode, there's one thing we both have in common. That's that we care a lot about fitness and health, right?
Yeah, dude. Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your routine been like during lockdown?
I'll be honest. It's gone to shit. I'll be honest. Wait, can I swear on this?
Refrain from it.
Okay, yeah. It's gone to crap. So, without the gym, it's because I usually do weights, right? And because I
Yeah.
don't have any weights at home, it just kind of messed up my whole thing. So, I've started to get like a bit more fat, but like I ordered a skipping rope and that came in. So yeah, I'm starting to get more lean, and I'm doing
Yeah.
intermittent fasting as well.
That's
So
good.
yeah, hopefully in a
Yeah.
couple weeks, should be good. What about you?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've kind of tried to keep a set routine with exercise because, like, me, I'm more than like instead of just someone who just lift weights, I'm more on the athletic side. Like, whatever I do is meant to help me improve in sports. So with me, I do kickboxing and basketball. So for kickboxing,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, weight training is really big. And the common myth is that, if you lift a lot of weight, you're going to get big and bulky. But, that's more on the diet and hormonal side. But yeah, lifting weights helped me get a lot of strength, especially when it came to like grappling and clinching onto people or just how much power you could put. And
definitely, man.
we don't have a gym to go to train. So for me, the way I do it is that, upper body, I try to hit twice a week with weights because I've got dumbbells up to 10 kilos at home.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah,
I make work with that. It's
yeah,
not the
yeah,
easiest, but at least I've got that. Then, I started running because my legs, I don't want to lose my gains.
yeah. No, fair enough.
So yeah, I've been running to at least keep my calves strong, squats at home to keep my quads strengthened. Hamstrings are a bit iffy because there's not much we can do with hamstrings.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
I,
not a lot.
I mean, I'm doing like I guess sumo deadlifts with dumbbells, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah, no, hamstrings like you need a lot of weight to kind of train them
yeah, to kind
to
of
work
train
in.
him and like up until 10 kilos isn't as much as it could be.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Like I have sorry, you go.
no, you go.
So like I have 5 kilo dumbbells and I was like trying to do chest presses right the other day. And
Yeah.
it was so hard because the weight was so light and it wasn't doing anything for me. So like yeah, I know how you feel.
Yeah. I mean, the hardest part to train is your chest, honestly. Like, you can only do so many push-ups.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Cause like with the bicep curls, I'm doing quite a bit, but the thing is it's just like after 20 it just kind of becomes the same. You don't really feel the effect.
Yeah, especially with like people who do weight training on the regular, but don't
Definitely.
have that equipment at home. Like, unless you're a personal trainer with like squat racks at home, like a lot of people are struggling with that. I
Yeah,
guess
man.
the one plus side on this is that my stamina has increased a lot because one of the only ways I can still try to stay fit is through calisthenics and body weight stuff. So like a lot of running, a lot of sit-ups, crunches, squats, and endurance training. So that's the one thing I will say that's good out of this lockdown. But I do miss being able to lift weights, especially with the machines at the gym. Like my upper back, I feel is kind of weak now because I don't have the lateral
Definitely.
pull down. And before I was doing pull-ups and all that, but now the parks have rules that you can't touch railings because it's easy to transmit the virus.
Yeah, man. That really annoys me. Because there's like an outdoor gym or park near my house, and it's been
Yeah,
like it's just been closed off. I can't use it, and that actually like annoys me because I don't have a pull up bar because that's what I
yeah,
use.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
what about the environment, I guess? Because, at the gym, the environment's really different. At the gym, you've got everyone else who's trying to get lean, get athletic, get in shape, get healthy. But, say you go outside to the park and, like, people are trying to get fit, but it's not the same. Like, you don't see people with the same goals as you
oh,
that you
definitely,
would
man.
see at the gym.
In
Like,
in a sense, people at the gym do motivate you more. Even if you've never talked to them, it's just seeing what they do. You kind of want to do that as well yourself. You
yeah,
know, that does motivate you. But like at the park, it's a lot different because it's not about how much weight someone's doing or like how intense the workout is. It's just they do it for like 10 minutes and then leave. It's not really
yeah.
something to look up to.
I mean, for me, it's even like I feel like I'm less productive, even though I've got more time to exercise. I'm less productive in that time. Like I feel like at the gym, I'll get more stuff done in 1 hour than I would in like 2 hours at home.
Oh yeah, of course. Because at home you don't. At home it's like you're home. Once you finish, you can just like go upstairs and like get in your
Yeah,
bed. It's but like with the gym, you're there for a certain time, so you kind of want to make the best out of it. So you do
yeah,
more.
yeah. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, have you felt like you've lost a bit of strength or something?
Oh, definitely. Like I don't like I can curl like 10 like easily like 10 kilos, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But like recently, I found it hard to do like 15 reps at like five. I don't know if that makes
yeah,
sense, but
yeah.
it's just yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you don't train enough, your muscles kind of you get weak over time, and your fat starts to build
Yeah.
up.
I mean, like, I feel like you even get a bit less explosive for like sport activities.
Oh
Because,
yeah, man,
like,
of course.
at the gym, you've got all this functional training equipment like a medicine ball. You've got a lot of exercises that require explosive movement, such
Mm.
as like, calf raises, for example. Not super fast, but like the movement is sort of explosive. But at home, you can't get enough weight to actually train your calves.
Yeah, that's another thing. Cause yeah, with calf raises, I usually do it on the barbell, put it on my
Yeah,
shoulder, and then do the calf like on the Smith machine, right?
yeah,
But yeah, no, that's the thing. You can't really you can't really do much with dumbbells, but I mean that's just how it
yeah,
is. You kind of just have to make do.
yeah. It is what it is. Anyways, how are your eating habits during lockdown?
um, they're actually really good. I'm not even gonna lie because I've been having
Yeah,
right. I'm not like buying food outside as much anymore. Because
yeah,
before, I used to. I mean, I used to eat out like maybe twice or thrice a week.
yeah,
Which is definitely not good. But I mean, it's a lot less now. But it's also
yeah,
definitely like more healthy meals. And because of intermittent fasting, I don't feel hungry, so I don't really have a snack
yeah.
either. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot better.
I mean, for me, I feel like my diet's kind of taken a hit because, usually when you're all preoccupied, like, okay, got to get on the bus, got to go to school. After school, you got to go to gym. After that, you got to study, get your homework done. Then you got to sleep for the next day. Weekends, we've got tutoring, so we got to go there.
Yeah,
If you have a party, then it's the trek to get to the party, and then at the party you're not going to be eating the whole time, you're going to be socializing. But when you're home alone, it's kind of like, damn. I mean,
of course, man. Nothing's stopping you from just grabbing
yeah.
something off the shelf.
I mean, for me, the worst part is because I've got more, especially because it's holidays. I'm like, I'll relax. I'll be watching a movie, then I'll be thinking, damn, it'd be kind of nice to, eat some cookies or have a soft drink like a Coke while having this. Then before I know it, I'm full on feasting.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, like some people do get like really affected by this, but some people like it kind of gets better. For me,
yeah,
for me, like I told you, it has gotten better, right? But
yeah,
I just have to maintain what I'm eating and kind of
yeah,
increase the intensity of my workouts, and I should be
yeah.
fine.
I mean, for me, it's more like, yeah, as long as I get my workout done, it doesn't impact me too much because,
Mm.
the main thing that stops you from getting fat is just the caloric deficit. The more you exercise, the larger the deficit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for me, and I feel like, especially in running, a lot of people underestimate this part of running, but it kind of like it it d- it suppresses your hunger, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
has that ever
I get
happened
you.
with you where you've run and your hunger's just suppressed, you're not hungry, you're,
I mean, I haven't. run as much recently, so I wouldn't really know, but
Yeah,
I can see where you're coming from. Like I
yeah,
usually just I skip for about maybe 20 minutes and then I have a coffee, and then that's like my
yeah,
start to the day, you know. So
yeah, yeah.
it's by the way, it's a lot more difficult for you, right? Because you do martial arts, you don't have any partners to spar with, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really the sparring because sparring for me, like by the time lockdown came, I was still a beginner sparrer. So like, sparring isn't the bigger impact. It's more like I didn't have anyone to like say hold pads for me or to kind of have a second eye on me to keep me accountable. Like when you're home and training and you're practicing, say, a roundhouse kick, there's a lot of factors in a roundhouse kick. Like, say, if you're pivoting your foot that you're standing on, say, if you're kicking with your shin instead of your foot to prevent injury, say, you're snapping at the right time, but also guarding yourself. Like, when you're at the gym holding pads, and this is pretty big for, like, I guess at my gym at least, when whenever you make a mistake or slip up, your guard falls or something, your partner will usually tell you, "Hey, buddy, your guard dropped. You should pick it up," or like little things like that. So,
Oh, definitely, man. Of
I,
course, man.
I
Like you're always improving. You know, no one's like the best, and
yeah,
if you can't be told how to improve, then you're just gonna stay
yes,
at that level for a while,
because
or
like
even
this is the
go
same
down.
with everyone. Like for me, even sometimes when I'm recording myself, just training to see how I'm going, like in my mind, I feel like Mayweather just when I'm against the bag, but then I look at it and I'm like, yep, deleting this video, deleting this. Like, yeah, it's just, I guess it's kind of hard. But what about you? Because I feel like for you, at least eating wise, like you, when we last met, you were pretty under control with the food. Has that stayed the same for you, or has it kind of like, have you slipped up a few times during lockdown?
I mean, definitely, I've definitely slipped up a few times. Like I've just gone days with just eating like a whole bag of flaming hot Cheetos, you know, throughout the day.
Oh,
But I mean, I think what's most important is that like I understand what I'm doing wrong and I'm changing it. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I mean that's what I'm doing right now. So like I know that like my eating's not the best right now, and I'm also like working out as well. So I'm not taking it too seriously. Also, you know, I'm not going out anywhere. So there's kind of
yeah. I
of
mean,
course there is a point, but
that's the
yeah.
biggest thing I found because at least like last week I decided to cut the crap and I've seen that even though aesthetic wise it wasn't a big difference to me because you can only get so fat after like 2 weeks of binging, I guess. Like it doesn't make a big deal, but
Mm.
like I guess internally I felt more active. I felt more like because the 2 weeks where I was just binge eating, not worrying because I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna get this opportunity again. I guess I kind of felt dull. I felt really lethargic everywhere I went. I was sleepy all the time. But when I
Yeah, of
started
course.
eating like nutritional foods, like fruits, vegetables, lean protein, then you feel more active. You feel more like, okay, so I'm more awake. I'm more focused. I've got more energy for everything. I'm more productive in my workouts. So I guess it's just little things like that, and you realize that, bro, outside food has so much stuff in there which you don't
Oh,
know
of course.
about.
So many calories as well for the
Yeah,
amount you're eating. You know.
it's like nowadays, like I order food from outside like once a week, Saturday night. That's my day. Like yesterday, I had to, stay under 500 calories for the whole day, even though, I had light exercise yesterday because, for 5 days I do hard exercise, one day light. But hard, I don't mean like intensity that I'm not going to be walking the next day, but moderate intensity. Then
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday
yeah.
I do light intensity, like for example, with boxing, I'm like, okay, I'll just work on, skipping to get that footwork up or a bit of shadow boxing. But yeah, it's just,
I
I
mean,
had,
the thing that everyone must realize is even if they get fat, right? Like,
yeah,
so this is what I was thinking as well. Even if they get fat, even if I get fat, thing is, by the time the gym's open, right? In like maybe a week, I will get back to like 90% of my old self, because that's how easy it is to get rid of fat when you have a lot of it. You know, it's
yeah,
when you get really close to not having like a lot. that's when it gets really hard to cut down or shred. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've noticed because like in September I was around like I guess 27% body fat, and like now I'm down to 19%. But I remember I cut down to like 25% body fat from 32 in like what 4 or 5 weeks. But then after that it became a much slower process. It's like, bruh, it's getting harder and harder. Same with muscle gains. When you first start working out and you first see that little bit of toned muscle, you're just like, damn, it's gonna be
Yeah,
this easy. But
yeah.
like, the longer you do it, the harder it gets to see like
And then
results.
of course every now and then you kind of learn a new workout. You see a new muscle developing, and then
Huh?
it kind of just goes back to your old routine. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like it's more about maintaining after you've gone to a certain point
yeah.
instead of like
I
trying
mean,
to make it better.
yeah, I mean at home it's I find it easy to maintain, I guess. Like not the easiest, but it's easier to maintain than it is to try to get more results.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Because you're maintaining, so you've already done it. You know, all you have to do is
Yeah,
just keep doing the same thing. But you kind of have to try better or try harder to improve, which is harder, definitely harder.
yeah. I mean, okay, what got you into fitness and caring about health?
It was, I mean, like most of my life was just me being fat. Like I'll be completely honest, right?
Yeah,
It was only like maybe year 9 that I started to think about this. I like started to actually take this seriously. But the whole, I like it's not really affected me negatively, right? But it's just you could just kind of have like a, I don't know how to explain it, right? But you just kind of feel better when you work out. You feel more confident,
yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
You know,
that's
you feel more
always.
confident in yourself, and you feel like others have like more confidence in you as well.
Yeah, of course, of course. Like, yeah, of course.
You know, it's not like I really had a problem with being fat. It's just there are a lot of benefits to also like be fit. You know.
Oh, there's a lot of benefits. I mean, dude, it's easy. You live longer if you're fit. It's the easiest benefit to think of.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. Yeah, no, like I don't think I was that like that far. I don't think I was that unfit, and you weren't either, right? Like you have to be extremely unfit to kind of not live
Yeah, I
as
mean,
long. But it was more the sense of just I want to do better, and like over time it just became a hobby, you know, like something
yeah,
that I actually liked.
yeah. I mean, I'd say for like you, it's more of a lifestyle now, to be honest.
Definitely.
Because like now it's like I feel like with us we can't go more than like 3 days for me is the max I can go without moderate exercise.
Yeah, man, of course.
I
Like
feel like
I mean, before when the gym was still open, I used to go every 2 days. You know,
yeah,
just and like sometimes on my off days, like on my rest days, I still used to go because I just kind of wanted like I just wanted some time away from everyone else, you know, just
yeah.
because like in the gym, no one really like looks at like because you don't know anyone there, you
I
know,
mean
at least for me.
that's the biggest thing that stops a lot of people from going to gym though, because like I guess society gives this idea that if you're going to the gym, you're already fit. But like the thing people don't get is that if you're going to the gym, you probably didn't start off fit. Like you look
Definitely,
at
yeah,
like think about the biggest bodybuilding person in the world, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like when you look at him, you think, wow, that man looks like a Greek god. Like look at him, he's so big. Like I'm talking about prime Arnie back when he was in like the 70s, winning Mr. Olympia, Mr. Universe, and all that. But a lot of people don't realize that he was a scrawny kid back in the day.
yeah, man. I
Like,
mean, everyone has to start somewhere, you know.
yeah, you got to start somewhere.
And
Uh,
the reason the main reason gyms were built is for people to get fit.
yeah,
So like you literally cannot judge anyone there because they're kind of making a move to better
yeah.
themselves, you know.
I mean, I feel like if you go to gym or you do some sort of sport, I guess, any way of exercise, I feel like you feel less insecure. You feel more confident in yourself.
Oh,
Like
of course.
you think of a gym, like you never see any fights happening at the gym, unless
Yeah,
like this is some idiot who does something. Like it's really rare. You're never gonna
yeah,
see
yeah,
two
yeah.
people argue and fight all the time. But then you go to like I guess an arcade, or not really an arcade, but like you go to a party where some people are, arguing with each other, you're more likely to see a fight break out at a party than you are at the gym.
Oh yeah, no, of course, man. Because I mean, everyone's just kind of minding their own business, and there's also the age difference between everyone. You know,
Yeah,
like
like
you
in that,
you just can't like pick on someone if they're like 10 years younger than you.
or even like 20 years older than you.
Oh no, definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like there's this. I mean, to be fair though, like some old people like really try. Like there's this old guy right at my
yeah,
gym.
yeah,
He's actually shredded. He looks like he could be a grandpa, right? But he's
yeah,
actually shredded. It's
yeah.
it's it's pretty like it's pretty interesting.
I mean, like, yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, for me, the way I got into health and fitness, I guess I got more into fitness in like year 7 because up until then I was just a really fat kid. I think I was around like 40% body fat because, I didn't know a thing about food. I didn't know a thing about exercise. I hated exercise. But then I guess I got into basketball. And, for me, that was a big sport because growing up in an Indian family, I guess, I was forced to go into cricket and all that. And I didn't like cricket at all. I couldn't play cricket. I was unathletic. I didn't have the motivation for cricket. But when I started playing basketball, I guess for the first few months in basketball, I just kind of went as a shooter. I just catch the ball, shoot it, and get it in. And that's my thing. But then at one point, you realize that just playing the sport can only get you so far. You also have to think about like conditioning and all that. So I started, doing push-ups, sit-ups to, lose a bit of weight so I could get faster. I changed positions to a more, I guess, athletic position, a position where you're required to move around a lot more because, I started losing weight from exercise. But it wasn't until year 10 last year where once I started going to gym, I'm like, you know what? If I really want to improve in this new endeavor of like kickboxing, if I want to improve in basketball still, then it's a lot easier to diet and condition yourself a few times a week than only condition yourself every single day for hours upon hours to outwork your diet. Like if
Definitely,
you,
man. Like one day isn't gonna do anything. You have to be
yeah,
you have to do it regularly.
yeah, and like I guess up until year 10, I used to not year 10, up until year 7, I used to have headaches all the time, and I didn't know why. But then once you start exercising and you get your body moving, the headaches go away. Then the lethargic feeling goes away once your nutrition gets up, and that's the one thing I encourage schools to do is like instead of just telling students what to do, get them to try it out for themselves to see the difference, to see how much it helps. I guess.
Definitely, man. I mean, I think schools are doing a pretty good job, of keeping kids fit.
School's doing a good job keeping kids fit. Like the whole primary school crunch and sip, I felt like looking back, I hated it, but now that I think about it, it's like it's a good thing that they're trying to get kids to eat fruits.
Mm,
Because
mm.
like now when you like the hardest part about food addictions, like for me, like you know about this, I had a huge milk tea addiction up until
Yeah, yeah.
10, I guess. Like 4 to 5 times a week, I'm getting milk tea for myself, and the first month, I guess, like the first 20 days is the hardest, but once you get through that and you just continue, you start building so much momentum.
The
Like
thing
that,
is, right,
yeah,
that when I saw you drinking milk teas, it was kind of like, I mean, you could do it because that was like the time you were working out. You were like
yeah,
you were really seeing a difference. So I think the main thing is have whatever you want, but you have to like your workouts have to be like better than what you're eating.
yeah. Not just
Like
that. I feel like you should eat in moderation. Because like now, I still have milk tea. I haven't quit milk tea. Like I love that substance so much. Like the tapioca, like it feels so good when you just sip the liquid. It's got all the sweetness in it with tapioca pearls and all the
I
toppings you get.
it's getting kind of weird. Not
No,
gonna lie.
no, but like you get the point. But for me, I guess I try to limit it to if I'm gonna have milk tea, I have one large milk tea once a month. That's for me.
Okay.
I had to build upon it. Like I first started with once a week, then once every 2 weeks, and now it's up to like once a month. I'm gonna have one milk tea. I'm gonna enjoy it, then I'm gonna move on and eat clean. That's another
No,
thing.
that's really good. You're
Like
actually eating really clean, like I've noticed,
yeah.
and and like that's really good. But like, do you not feel any cravings at all, like for just
Um, you
junk
see
food at
that
all?
that's the biggest thing. A lot of people think that if you're having cravings, you should not have it at all. But I feel like if you want to sustain eating clean and not have a rebound where like, once you eat something bad, you're gonna quit, binge eat, then start again, then quit, binge eat. I feel like the thing you should do is that for me, I used to struggle with cravings, and the biggest thing is that you need to see the bigger picture and you need to work for the long term goals, not the short term. So what I did was baby steps. I just on my wall in my room, I just wrote down like the foods which I eat a lot, which are bad for me. So, up there was like KFC, there was milk tea, there was like iced chocolates from baristas, like there was all this food. And what I did with that is that I said, okay, right now, how much am I eating? And every week I'll just try to decrease the amount by 10%, I guess. So if I'm having like say 10 pieces of chocolate a week, next week I'll have 9. Then a
Mm.
week after I'll have 8. The week after I'll have like I guess 7, and so on and so forth. I I started it around I think August, trying to keep that up. By the time it was September, so like just 1 month, I lost half of my cravings pretty much. Like I could go for days without craving the food. Then I guess I started around from October till December, like middle of December, I think was my biggest streak where I only had like one piece of cake because it was my mate's birthday. So after that, I went to Singapore for a holiday, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm on holiday. I'm not gonna worry about my diet and whatnot. And but I guess subconsciously, without even telling myself, I was still eating nutritional food because then you just like back in the day when I used to order fried rice at a Thai restaurant, I guess I'd always say, okay, no vegetables. I hated vegetables so much,
Mm.
but then I started enjoying vegetables. Like ask any of my mates back in primary. I hated capsicum, I hated broccoli, I hated all that. But nowadays, when I'm cooking food at home, I actually try to go heavy on the vegetables because when you start enjoying foods which are good for you, you sort of lose the cravings and become healthier like by yourself. Like sure, I still have times where I go a week eating bad. It happens to everyone. But for me, I see that as long as I get back on track, then it's okay.
Yeah, man. No, I know what you
Like, what do
mean.
you
Like, I
think?
feel you, because I had that as well.
Yeah,
I used to hate stuff. Like, I used to hate veggies and stuff.
yeah,
And I mean, I had to get over it. I had to start eating clean.
yeah. I mean, that's the beauty about intermittent fasting, that once you get past the first week, you already limit how much unhealthy you're going to eat because you only have like a small span to eat in.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, now this is a good question. Who do you think are your top three fitness influencers currently in Hollywood?
All right. I honestly don't know. Like, I mean, they're all pretty good, but I mean, I have to say, for one, Kevin Hart.
Kevin
You know,
Hart?
Kevin
Yeah.
Hart.
I feel like Kevin Hart's kind of underrated though.
Definitely, man. Like, he's actually pretty fit. Like, 'cause I've seen a few videos, and he's actually doing very well for himself.
Yeah.
Like, not just money wise, but lifestyle wise. Because I've seen how he was before, and I've seen like him starting to work out, and I've like kind of seen his transformation. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, a lot of people always think of him as like this one dude, is like, oh, he's a funny short dude. But if you actually like follow him, you see, oh, he boxes, he lifts weights, he, does his cardio, he does endurance training, he does all this stuff. And like, you wouldn't know that unless you follow him. So that's one thing. For me, like, the easiest person to think of is Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, definitely, that was going to be my next one. You know, because
Like he
he's pretty massive.
he represents meatheads. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a meathead. If you're a meathead, you're someone who cares about health. Straight up.
Yeah, man,
Like
of course.
The Rock, like he's had a huge transformation too. Because like, have you seen how he dealt with depression and all that, and how he got through that? Like, have you seen that?
Oh no, I don't know about that. Sorry,
Oh,
could you go on?
so I'll search it up right now. Dwayne Johnson depression. Like for me, I found this inspirational because a lot of people see him as this WWE star and how he's like this huge person who nothing can beat. Because you look at his image right now, he's this dude who's always smiling. Like 10 years ago, if you told me there's this guy who's like 6'6", I think, who weighs 120, I think a bit more than that kilos, and he's the nicest person you ever see online. He's like got the biggest smile. I'm like, you're BSing me. I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely. I still don't believe it. You know,
Yeah,
like of course it's happened, but it's really hard to believe that someone that looks like him, you know, just and like his
yeah,
movies as well, kind of portray how he is now. He's just got kind of always
yeah.
happy, you know, and like
I mean, like his story is that back when he was young, he got injured and he had to let go his dream of Canadian football. And his girlfriend at the same time like broke up with him. He lost a huge contract for money and he was almost broke before he got into WWE. So like, yeah, for me when I see something like that, it's just like, bruh, that man looks like he knows how to live.
yeah, man.
And for me,
What do you think about WWE? Like,
okay, for me with WWE, because I'm big for the UFC. I love the UFC. Like fight night every Sunday in Australia, every Sunday Arvo. Me and my mates always like talk about the fight that just went down, and it doesn't matter if it's like a huge pay-per-view or not. But with WWE, when I was younger, I used to love it, but when I was a
mm,
teenager, I sort of lost respect when I've started watching the UFC because I'm like, look how much better this is. But now, when I'm a bit like, I'm still like 16, so I'm not super mature yet, but like, I guess when I've matured a bit, for me, it's more like I respect what the people in the WWE go through because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, wrestling's fake. And I'm like, well, first of all, it's choreographed, but the thing I like about WWE is that it's just a bunch of people who are, for what they're doing, they're pretty fit, who are
yeah,
just
yeah.
doing stunts for entertainment. And to me, that's like, if you're someone who's got the guts to go through half the stuff WWE fighters go through, then, sorry, then like, I respect them because, like, you're doing it for money, but like out of all the professions, you chose the entertainment industry. You chose to entertain others, and
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
that's like, yeah, that's a pretty big thing. And
No, I mean, sorry, just
yeah,
finish.
so what if it's choreographed? Like they still have it. It's still fun to watch, and
Mm.
I feel like for every child's development, they should watch WWE. Like for your development.
Yeah, no, I mean, in the end, you know, it's just a job, you know,
Yeah,
and they're actors, you know, like when you think about it, they are actors. Like it's recorded, they have to kind of put on an act, and it just shows like it doesn't matter. It's just another occupation. I don't know why people get so frustrated, you know, when someone says they like WWE.
yeah. I mean, like if you're an adult who likes WWE, good on you. You don't listen to others. Like for
Yeah,
me,
I
I
mean, it's just like it's like a grown man saying he doesn't like movies. You know,
yeah.
it's just entertainment.
Yeah, like you just enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with it. If you don't like it, then okay, good for you. You've got a choice. But like you don't have to like just take a dump on the whole organization because at the end of the day, they're just, doing what they said they would, entertaining people.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, okay, for me, another person who I think is like a pretty good fitness influencer, Mark Wahlberg. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, he is. He's actually pretty incredible. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I
And
don't know much about his backstory. Like I've seen a lot of
yeah,
his movies, and
I've seen
I
that.
think he's a great actor. You know,
He's a really good actor.
but
Do you remember a few years ago when like his whole lifestyle came out to the public and he just got memed because of his do you know his lifestyle? His routine?
As it, oh yeah, I heard about that. Like he wakes up like 4 a.m. and just starts praying or something.
Oh no, I'll read it out right now. Um, yeah, it's a pretty big meme because everyone was laughing. So his routine is he wakes up at 2:30 a.m. and
Jeez.
2:45 a.m. is prayer time, and breakfast is at 3:15 a.m. and 3:40 to 5:15 a.m. is workout. 5:30 a.m. is post-workout meal. 6 a.m. is shower. 7:30 is golf. 8 a.m. is a snack. 9:30 is a cyro chamber recovery. 10:30 is a snack. 11 is family time slash meetings, work calls. 1 p.m. is lunch. 2 p.m. is meeting and work calls. 3 p.m. is picking up his kids at school. 3:30 is a snack. 4 o'clock is a second workout. And 5 p.m. is a shower. 5:30 to is his dinner time and family time. And 7:30 is bedtime.
It's I like I've never ever known anyone that goes to sleep at 7:30. I'll be completely honest. It is kind of funny. Like I can see how I can
Yeah.
see how they find it funny.
I mean, the biggest thing I'll say is that most people are probably jealous of that. The fact
Oh,
that
definitely.
the man gets so much time to work out in his day. And look, think of it this way, he's got all this time when he's not shooting for films and he chooses to focus on his health. Like I feel like people should just try to appreciate that instead of memeing at the fact that he sleeps at 7:30.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely, man. And I mean, he just like in all of his movies, like it shows how fit he is, and he looks
Oh yeah.
old, right? But like he's very fit, in the end, and I
Oh
think
yeah, of
that's what
course.
matters a lot. But what really weirds me out is that he plays golf. Like he has an allocated time just to play golf.
I mean, the man loves the sport.
Fair enough, dude.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the movie Pain and Gain?
The one with Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yeah, Mark
Yeah,
Wahlberg's in there as a personal trainer, and like
I think I've seen that one.
I feel like that movie. If you're into fitness and health, especially if you're into weightlifting, you should watch that movie.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm pretty sure I've seen it before.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it a while ago, so I don't remember it as much, but I remember just enjoying seeing the Mark Wahlberg intro and how he's talking about how like fitness and health should be every person's priority and how he hates people who can't be bothered to push themselves to go to a gym and all that. So I found that an enjoyable movie.
Oh, okay, yeah, 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 definitely,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, okay, who's someone who you think is underrated as a celebrity in the fitness field?
In the fitness field,
Yeah.
you know the cab driver in Deadpool. Is that his name? I mean, Knall or something.
Oh, that's not the one in Deadpool.
Is that the one
That's
that? Oh, okay. I'm just
there's
racist to my own country.
oh, I think well, you're Indian too. I don't think. No, I think I know who you're talking about. He's the guy from Stuber, correct?
Oh, he's the guy from the Big Sick.
Yeah, the Big Sick. His name is Kumail Nanjian. This is bad. I'm Indian. I should be able to pronounce it. Anyways, yeah, Kumail. Yeah, I saw his transformation.
Yeah, no, like this is a really bad way to know about this, but I saw it on Snapchat, right? So like
Yeah,
one of the Snapchat stories was just
yeah,
the gym and fridge store, right? And
yeah.
like they were kind of just showing his gym and fridge, and I actually got really impressed because I never thought he was like that, and they showed me like a before and after, and I actually got pretty impressed, you know.
I mean, have you seen his magazine shoots where he's like reenacting famous movie scenes, like the Hugh Jackman 2013 Wolverine shirtless, and he's just like
I've
reenacting
seen
it.
that one. Yeah.
Like for me, like I feel like Indians should appreciate this because there's a guy who's in mainstream Hollywood who's about to get so much clout for this transformation.
Oh yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, wait, give me a sec. Sorry, that was my brother. Anyways, yeah. For me, someone who's underrated is Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, cause you
I
look
can
at
see
him,
that.
he's Iron Man, and a lot of people, they underestimate that this man, up until I guess 2007, his life was so upside down with all the drugs and all the controversy, him having to go to jail. And then the first thing he does to get his life set is he joins a Wing Chun school, gets into martial arts, starts exercising. Through fitness, he fixes his life. Like,
Yeah,
for
he was an
me,
addict, wasn't he?
he was a huge addict. And like
Yeah, yeah.
now you look at him, he's like the richest actor in Hollywood. Like
Yeah, I mean,
one of the
definitely, man.
richest.
Yeah, he's one of the most well-respected actors as well. Because I mean, a lot of people just see him as Iron Man, but he has a lot of other movies as well.
Oh, Tropic Thunder, masterpiece.
Yeah,
That
dude, of
movie
course.
is a masterpiece. Like the Sherlock Holmes movies, they're also
I
pretty
haven't.
good.
I'm gonna start seeing this. I've seen like a quarter of like the first one, but I've never actually watched like the
Sherlock, though.
Sherlock Holmes movie. Yeah,
I mean, we've got lockdown, so yeah.
yeah.
There's
I
a.
mean, there's nothing better to do.
They've said there's a third movie about to come out. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I haven't seen the first two, so I really can't judge.
Fair
But
enough.
I mean, if the first two are good, then the third one should be good.
Hmm.
Actually, no, that's not true because have you seen John Wick?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about the third one? It came out ages ago, but I just
The
wanted to
third
thoughts on
one?
it.
Third?
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I feel like it's my favorite John Wick. Because,
Really?
look, the story isn't as good as the first or second, but for me, the fact that it's just a full-on action movie from start to end, like they couldn't have made for an action movie these days, because I feel like there's been a decline in action movies in the 2000s to 2010s, because ever since the Bourne movies, there's been a lot of shaky cam in movies. But out
Yeah,
of nowhere,
yeah.
Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, and stuff start bringing old school action back, like John Wick. In John Wick 3, you see the man knows this stuff. Like if you watch
And
his training
oh
videos,
yeah,
the
John
man's
Wick, his
yeah.
like all the scenes he shoots look so realistic. Like
Mhm.
it's so crazy how realistic they look, with the fighting and also with the like him just using the firearms, right? Like the guns
Have you
and
seen the
stuff.
video of him training to use firearms? Like
I'm pretty sure I have.
the man legitimately knows how to use guns.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like full on such a good action star as well because the man knows how to fight. He knows how to martial arts. I think in John Wick, right before John Wick, he trained to get better at judo and jiu-jitsu.
Oh
That's why you
yeah.
see in the movie he grapples a lot and like of course he knows his karate, he knows his a few taekwondo kicks, he knows some kickboxing, but you look at that movie and Keanu Reeves, first of all, we just talk about him because I feel like he's also underrated.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
Keanu Reeves is a dude who smokes, but you look at him and you think like, wow, he seems healthy though. And I feel
Mm.
like that's because like mentally, unlike a lot of Hollywood actors who get all caught up with fame and all that, mentally he's in like a pretty stable place. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. I mean, from what I usually don't go on to actors like as deep as you do, so I don't look at Keanu Reeves as Keanu Reeves. I look at him as the characters he plays.
Yeah,
So I don't know a lot about their life, but
yeah,
from what I'm looking at, he looks very like in control of himself.
yeah. I mean, he's literally the biggest meme now because of how nice he is. Like, you look at all these
Yeah,
videos,
yeah.
you look at all these videos just memeing about how like they make up this bizarre scenario and then add another Keanu Reeves comes to rescue. Like, I mean, I feel like as an actor, he's someone who people should strive to be like.
Of course, man.
Okay, well, we've just discussed the benefits of healthiness and health, but what are your thoughts on woke culture? Do you know what that is?
No.
So it's like how you can't say anything because you may accidentally offend people, and you have to be politically
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
I
What
think it's just I
What are your
feel
thoughts
like
on woke
everyone
culture glorifying
everyone
obesity?
knows obesity. I mean,
Yeah, glorifying it.
okay, I don't think it should be glorified. Like, I think it should be accepted, but I don't think it should be. encouraged, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean,
Because of course people are obese, and some of them, as sad as it is, they can't do anything about it.
yeah,
But that shouldn't cause other people to kind of throw their life away like that. Because
yeah.
glorifying obesity can lead to perfectly healthy people just throwing it away because they think it's fine in society just kind of give up.
I mean, for me, it's more like, okay, so there's nothing wrong with being fat. I feel like the bigger thing is just being healthy, like exercising, making sure your arteries don't have cholesterol and all that. Because you can be the skinniest person with the fastest metabolism, but if you're chugging down like cheeseburgers every 2 minutes, then of course your cholesterol is going to be high. You're going to have heartburn. You're going to feel lethargic, like the stuff like that. But the way it's going, like, did you see the plus sized model like controversy?
I kind of know about it, but not too much. Like this is
Okay,
about like oh sorry, you go. Just explain it.
from the video, from the controversy, I'll say that, okay, there's nothing wrong with being fat. Like, I feel like beauty shouldn't be defined with body fat percentage, but I feel like you shouldn't glorify it by saying this is the new health, like this is the new health standard. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people used to complain that, oh, these models look anorexic and all that because they're so skinny. But my thing's that I feel like it's better to be that skinny than to be that obese from a health perspective.
It's not like that. It's just they can promote the plus size models, right? That's fine.
Yeah,
But the thing is, they can't say that this is the new norm or this is what people
healthy
want
looks
you to be.
like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Unless they're actually healthy, because I mean, you said it yourself. Like just because someone's fat doesn't mean that they're unhealthy.
yeah,
But that's what everyone thinks, and I feel like people promoting it just makes them think that just because you eat too much, it's not like eat unhealthy stuff, rather. It's not a
yeah,
bad thing. That's what I feel people are thinking, and I don't think that's good. I feel like they
yeah.
should really,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, that I feel like our thoughts are similar on that. Well, what do you think about bodybuilders?
I mean,
More
I think they
more
just kind of
specifically,
yeah.
steroid culture in bodybuilders.
I mean, I can see why they would use it, but like I'm kind of reflecting on myself here, like looking at me right now.
Yeah,
All right, and I think that like from my point of view, I'm kind of like, oh, why would anyone use it? Because
yeah,
people can't like I've seen people that like are massive, right, in the gym,
yeah.
and they do it without steroids. And if that's possible, why do people take
I mean, I
stuff?
yeah. I mean, for me, it's more like. Then again, it's not how we're getting food on the table, if that makes sense. Like for us, like
Yeah, yeah.
I know you
It's
want to
not
go
about
to
the
yeah,
journey; it's about the result, which is is that what you're trying to say?
like yeah, like for us, we don't really have to worry about our aesthetics because we know that we're most likely going to make money through like some career in like for you, I know you want to go into the law, and for me, I know I want to go into the health field in like health science and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like with bodybuilders, it's the only source of income, I'm pretty sure. So from that perspective, I guess I could understand why they're taking steroids. But
I
for
feel
me,
like the risk is just too high. If you get caught, and that's pretty much your life. If you don't know anything else, that's pretty much your life. You get
yeah,
fired from whatever position you're in, right, for
yeah,
taking steroids. And yeah, I mean, drugs have a really negative impact on everyone.
yeah, they do.
Unless
I
you're kind
mean,
of smart, unless you're
yeah,
smart in how you do it, it
yeah.
it's not a good thing.
I mean, what about one of my biggest pet peeves, especially with like everyday people, is when they say bodybuilders are all show. Like for me, it's like, so what? Like it shouldn't be a big deal. Like they're still lifting weights. They're still eating really, really clean. That they're keeping their calories and macros tight so they can be as physically aesthetic as possible. Like when I see average people who don't like go to gym and all that say that, oh, bodybuilders are just show. There's nothing impressive. For me, that's like bruh.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean, people are bodybuilders because they want to see themselves like that, right? It's their choice
yeah,
to kind of be like that, and I feel like if they've made their mind up about that, they don't really care what anyone else thinks,
yeah,
you know. So I don't think it's that much of an issue, and I don't think like a lot of people don't like really care about like bodybuilders like being all show, you know. That most of them kind of they do look up to them, you know. Like I
yeah,
have a mate who like looks up to bodybuilders because, and he's massive now, you know. And it's
yeah,
not like I'm sure they have like personal lives and they have their own problems and stuff,
yeah.
but like bodybuilders, I don't know if you're talking like more commercial wise or just like in general, but if you're talking commercial wise, it's kind of their occupation. Like they have to be
Yeah,
fit, you know?
yeah. No, for me, I guess it is more of a pet peeve. I guess when, like, I guess people who don't know much about it start giving their opinion on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like, I feel like bodybuilders, like, in my opinion, out of any fitness, I guess, type of encounter or occupation, bodybuilding is the toughest, in my opinion. Because for that, you have to look at your body from a much more scientific level. You have to watch your calories. You have to keep your body fat at a really small percentage. You have to keep your muscle atrophy you have to prevent muscle atrophy all the time. You have to plan out when you're going to lift before your meet, when you're going to eat what before your meet, how much water you're going to drink before a meet to look as good. Like, for me, I feel like bodybuilders are one of the toughest, like mentally toughest people I see on the internet, I guess.
No, definitely. And like it's the whole profession revolves around being physically healthy, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess it's the same for models as well. Like they can never let themselves go.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, we can, you know, even like, and that can cause a lot of mental issues. You know, it can
Yeah.
cause anxiety or depression, or like whatever. But it can kind of cause them to just not feel right sometimes, but they still have to push through it. So it's definitely mentally challenging.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. Well, when on this, what do you think is one thing that can help society improve their health?
Um, I don't know because from what I see, I think we're doing an all right job, you know, of kind of
Yeah,
promoting health or like to promote just keeping physically fit. Like
yeah,
gyms have like not sales, but they have promotions where they're like do this and your partner can get like 50% off or something like that. And
yeah,
it's definitely like encouraging more people to go or like other stuff like like shows, right? Like TV shows that kind of promote health by like kind of telling you what's good, what's good to eat. You know,
yeah,
telling you how many calories or carbs or something this has, kind of telling you what your diet should be like. You know, for like
yeah, of
if
course.
you want to be like this, and I think that's really important. And I think we're doing a good job of that.
Yeah, that's true actually. I feel like I feel like the one thing that we as people have accomplished is that, especially a lot of people said Instagram is bad and all that for mental health, but the one thing I see that's good out of it is that it's motivating more people to get up and go train, I guess.
Okay, like social media is
Like,
only bad for your mental health if you kind of let it take control over you.
yeah,
You know, and I like I probably am not the right person to be talking about mental health because
yeah, what were you
I don't
saying?
really. I said I'm probably not the right person to be talking about like mental health. I haven't really experienced it, right? But I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like people, they can kind of choose what affects them and what doesn't, right? At least this is what I feel,
that is true.
you know, because I mean, of course, like you get called names all the time, so do I, right? But
Yeah,
I think it's just like how much of it affects us is what matters the most.
that's true. It is what affects us the most. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's a good way to end the first episode.
Yeah, bro.
Anyways, yeah,
Thank you for
have a
having
good.
me, man. It's been good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this goes. I'd see ya.
All right, see you, man. Have a good one.
You too.